This is London with MarketHedge, getting a bit of a drop on Bitcoin right now. Let's talk about where we're at, for instance, in the 4-hourly RSI. Really an important metric as we look at being oversold, nearly touching that 30 mark. Got there for just a second, and we pulled back up to about 36 on the RSI. If you're currently swing trading, I don't care on whatever time frame you're on, but you're not looking at holding a trade from a low RSI position to a high RSI position, trying to get it back to a low RSI position, back to a high RSI position. If you're not swinging on price, okay, and you think you're swing trading, I'm going to really challenge you to start looking at swing trades based upon the cumulative buyers and sellers in the market are accumulating or distributing, whether or not they are buying or selling or in a in a take profit or an entry mode on longs or shorts, respectively. So let's take a look at some other metrics as we've been prepared for this. My trade is evaporating a bit in terms of profit. I'm ready for this to zero out if it needs to. Why? Because I want a big hit. That's just it. I didn't come to this casino to break even. I came to make some money. So let's see what we can get in terms of bulls muscling up. Really, this specific descending triangle is one of my favorite patterns to enter underneath. So along with that RSI, we have what? We do have a specific pattern that I like to enter underneath on for a specific throwback trade. So in terms of let's look at a different metric here real quickly. Let's go back, and we talked recently about last several days, didn't we? We talked recently about, let me clean this chart up very quickly. We talked about the specific, let me add on the Bollinger Bands. Here we go. We've talked about hedges. This is a perfect example of, and let's really talk about this. It's a prime example for us to talk about relative strength. Let's look at RSI, adding in relative strength as a metric. We'll deal back with MACD here in a bit. But looking at the specific drop down, if you were hedging that 20 moving average, which we talked about prolifically over the last couple of days, so you guys understand what's been paying on this 4-hourly 20, that hedge line, the 20 moving average on the 4-hourly has been minting cash. You know that, right? So what are one of the contingencies, one of the follow-ups here is we're saying, well, how much exposure should I have down to the downside if I'm going to be stacking shorts above and longs below? Let's say I want to catch this action if it goes up on a return to the 20, or if we come down and we springboard back up to that 20. What's my level of exposure? This is a great time for us to say, well, you need to be prepared for a hit on the 4-hourly RSI oversold, right? Every time. So this is a great way to line up our preceding couple of videos as you've been maybe strained a bit to get through them and understand, okay, why are we hedging? You guys will see. Put the orders in. Start to hedge it. I'd say if you can get to where you have a primary trade and a secondary, let's say an asymmetric trade, the hedge is going to be the asymmetric trade. Okay, it's going to be typically against the market, right? But as you'll see this, what we just did is buy the dip. So when you're saying, well, it's an asymmetric trade, it's a complicated way of looking at establishing your position in the market. You just picked up on the 4-hourly RSI low, and it's technically a hedge. What does the hedge part get you? A, not fully exposed all at once, right? Because we do stack orders, right? We stack orders. So you're hedging your capital in that you're not fully exposed. You're still not fully exposed, right? You've come down, and let's say you're not fully exposed. Also, you have a target. So you're stacking orders with a specific rebound or target in play. Those are the two requirements, okay, in terms of not fully exposed and the fact that you have a target that you're going to be looking at in terms of that pullback or that throwback that does occur, okay, in terms of the interest that you're putting together in your orders. Now, to the downside, let's talk about, just very briefly, specific targets to the downside, right? We do have a high to low. You guys know in terms of a carry down, it'd be about the 108 full pattern to the downside. But you know one thing, if Bitcoin crashes back down into this perfect bull flag without giving me my full 135K, hey, that ain't my fault. If it wants to mess around with a primary pattern and show the traders a perfect bull flag, I mean, guys, it was perfect. You guys agree? This thing is perfect. It has no flaws, literally. Maybe it's too perfect. But if Bitcoin wants to do this and not pay the traders, Not pay me, not pay you. It doesn't want to pay anybody. It's just going to put its tail between its legs and say, that's it. All right, if Bitcoin does not want to muscle up and give us this 135, so be it. So be it. I'm not going to count it against me. If you guys have the risk exposure, the risk threshold to get the other bulls in line, that's fine. If not, and your screen turns green and you need to take the cash, guys, it's your trade. If you've been following these trades, I'm serious. I will let this zero out to the downside. I want it to push. I want my target. I'm being obstinate. You guys can tell. This is London, former hedge fund owner, private, non-SEC, not financial advice. I'm going to encourage you guys to have a good week. It's almost over. Bitcoin needs to have a good Friday. The one concerning metric I will say, as a matter of fact, is on the daily. Right now on the daily, as we look at the specific 20 moving average, I'll tell you, guys in New York right now are looking at this 20 moving average on the daily saying, what? Well, if you park me under here for too long, we are going to target this downside specific standard deviation on the Bollinger Band. Capiche? We got it. What's that from? New York Institute of Finance, where Wall Street goes to school. This is London with MarketHedge. Hope you guys are having a good night. I wanted to get you a quick video out. Yes, 4-hourly RSI oversold. Hope you picked it up. Hope we get some action off of it. Remember, heavy cash reserves never overexposed at any higher price. This is London with MarketHedge.pro.